Hello there, great person, and welcome to the next chapters of the Wheel of Time, Book 1, The Eye of the World. I tried to do something about the little audio bugs that keep appearing when I render my videos, so I hope this works better now. I've placed the mic here now. Let's see how this is. I will just start reading now. So today there will be no discussion with my friends because they've got some other stuff to do today. So I will probably do it next in the next video in the end, and then yeah, I will summarize everything again. So yeah, let's just get reading into this story again, and let's see. We are currently going towards what was it, the river thing. Terran Ferry. We are going to Terran Ferry. So let's see where we start and end today. Okay, so everyone's looking ahead. Just Red looks back. Does that mean they all are not worried about their back? Or is it like just they know they're not that fast and, you know? Also quite interesting. So Moraine's horse is white, Lance is black, and Rand's is grey. So like a mixture of those two. I don't know if there's anything to do with anything. But just an observation. Also, the horse seems to be quite adamant on going forward, which is nice of the horse. Good horse. I hope it survives the city of Goo. Okay, so Rand does not think that EGWENE is important, though apparently she is, because Moraine as well said as well, so the pattern wills it, or the wheel wills it, something like that. No, it's in the pattern now, she said. Only a solitary night bird's cry. Is that an important cry? Is it the raven? Or an owl? Is that the messenger of the dark? I'm paranoid here, I think, so might be. Yeah, so the horse did its best now. Good job, Cloud. You're the MVP of this round. Oh, and they are celebrating Beltane. Of course they are. I mean, they were not disturbed. And Moraine and Landon don't show signs of fatigue, which is that magical? Probably a bit, isn't it? Oh, that's actually quite cool. So Moraine's just healing the horses so they can go on. That's a nice detail. You know, something like that in a show would have been also quite good. But I mean, they had to compress it. I know. Okay, so she can't heal herself. I mean, we knew that from the show, but it's here as well. That's good. Oh, and Bela is the least wary of all. And that probably hints at that Tam got her from not from the two rivers, but perhaps Bela is from the place she came from. But I don't know how old do horses get. So I think that, yeah, when did his mother die? I think 15 years ago or so. So yeah, 15-year-old horse. I don't know. That sounds fishy. So perhaps not. Oh, and the Drakars, you know. Let's see what it does. Okay, now I see. So it was in the show as well that their two horses don't really react to danger as the others do. So yeah, here as well, they don't really care for the Drakar, or at least they don't show it, and yeah, the others go bonkers. What would we have expected otherwise? I mean, yeah. Okay, so yeah, the Beltane people don't really get it. You know, they just heard the cry and okay. And the Drakar apparently already told the murderer, so that's bad, so they really have to worry. That's quite stupid that they did not do that in the show. Would have been so much to add. I don't know. Flying creature is expensive, probably. That's probably it. Ooh, and Rand subconsciously drew out the sword. That's badass. That's good. Though he probably didn't plan on doing that. Yeah, and they're too afraid to spread out a bit. So yeah, I can understand that. Better stay together. If it comes down and tries to grab someone, the others should be near to end it. If you can even kill it. Can you kill the thing easily? I don't know. I wonder if there are creatures like that you can only kill with magic. You know, like there are sometimes in these stories creatures you can only kill with magic. So are there creatures like that here? And Gwen is happy. What? What's up with her? Okay, so she can't snipe it from the horse. So Moraine can't snipe the Drakar. I mean, that's fair. How would she do it? Oh, did Moraine cast a fog spell, or is it the enemy? Ooh, that's so spooky. Imagine that you're hunted by a flying bed werewolf thing and whatever else. And then there comes this mist and you can't see anything. Ah, it's so eerie. Oh, yeah, I think it's Moraine that casted it. Yeah, they are. Moraine and Lan seem to be able to see through the fog. Might be because Moraine casted it and Lan is connected to her, bonded to her. That might be why. And the others can just hope. That's so creepy. Imagine that. That would have been also very creepy in the show, by the way. Oh, God. Such a shame that they had only 8 episodes. If they had had 20 really made, it would have been so much better even. I mean, I love the show. It's great. And I have not yet found something where I really have to say, yeah, they really effed this up. You know, it's like a good adaptation, I think. But till now, I mean, I haven't read everything, but it's good adaptation. But you know, it's just an adaptation. Also, you know, it's like okay, I still love it. And by the way, I really like this when a writer does this, like focus on other senses as well, not just seeing. And I don't know who said it or where I read it. You know, I've been reading stuff about how to write, you know, tutorials and like tutorial books or like you know introductory books as to how to write, because I wanted to improve my writing, and that was a tip. Don't forget the other senses. You can also smell and hear and feel, you know, and that helps me a lot. And I feel that in my horror stories it also helps, you know, if you can smell something strange or so, if something eerily is happening, and I try to use that as well. Um, and I really like that he does it here in the fog, that they still hear the dogs, you know. It's like this, yeah, it's still there, still there are still problems. So yeah. And Terran Ferry seems to be a village, not this one hut where the guy is. I wonder if the guy now comes. Okay, so yeah, it's a village and they have strange names like Hilltop or Stoneboat, which is, I mean, Hilltop, okay, it's a stupid name. Sorry, Hilltops. But Stoneboat, isn't that a bit contradictory? I don't know who would call them, whatever. Are they idiot masons or idiot uh, boat builders, however you call that profession? Oh, and that's also, they had slyness and trickery. If you shook hands with the Terran ferryman, people said you counted your fingers afterward. So it's probably a place Matt and Helen Fane would like. Oh, and now they go to a house. Master Hightower. So Lan knows him, probably. And yeah, then Matt makes this stupid joke because he's Matt. We love Matt, so great job, mate. Yeah. So it shows that Matt does not seem to be that stressed. I mean, he seems stressed, but it's not like he's completely shocked. Okay, yeah. So it's like, yeah, Len's just paying him off, and now they can go by night. And the fog will probably be cleared when Moraine is finished casting her spell. Also, I don't know if she will even drop this spell because the Drakkar is still there. So on water, you would be a pretty good target. So she will probably leave the fog up. Okay, that was chapter 11. I thought it was not that eventful, but it was quite atmospheric. I like the atmosphere here. It was not too complicated. Yeah, it's cool that Moraine can heal others. She can't heal herself apparently. She casts the fog, so she can do quite a lot of stuff apparently, which is cool. And yeah, so they are running away. Let's see how the ferry goes and if they kill Hightower here as well. Chapter 12: Across the Terran. Okay, and Moraine is worried that Hightower will remember her. So what is Len gonna do? That's quite eerie what he does here, or what she says. It's like, yeah, you have to end him because he's the only one that saw them. That's so dark. I hope it's not that. I really do hope it's not that. And EGWENE is not that shaken as well. So EGWENE seems to really be... Did she travel before? It's so weird. So EGWENE is, yeah, he wonders about EGWENE. Again, she's painted in this naive light by Rand, because Rand doesn't, I think he doesn't understand her, we know that. So he says, yeah, she's probably thinking, this is so cool, yeah, but she doesn't talk. So we still don't know what she's saying. It's so interesting. We just know what Rand is thinking, and she never really says anything we can derive stuff from. You know, what is she thinking? I want to know what EGWENE is thinking. And it's better in the show than in the show as well. Again here, the Terran ferry. So Rand already knows about it. He's heard it told, the story that there is this bridge that stops and there's the ferry, and then the Terran itself, it's described much more big, and there are many currents, and you know, it's like this big river, and in the show it was just like a little... Yeah, I mean, what was it? How far? 30 meters? Not even 30 meters, perhaps 20. 10 or 20 meters across, you know, and this sounds a lot huger. Okay, so some men are coming with Hightower. Did he call them? I don't know. Which would be weird, because, yeah, he could just take the money and then... Yeah, but why would he not care about the money he gets after getting over to the other side? And why would he care about them? Why would they be suspicious? Why would he call other men? Perhaps because he hopes that he gets like a bounty for them? Or is it not like that? Did they just come there, you know, like accidentally, or what is going on? And yeah, Lan is ready to cut them down, obviously. So good for Lan. And again, the sleight of hand movements Thom does, which really shows that he's a trickster and he knows how to hide stuff, and like he's this magician, but you know, not obviously the one power magic, but you know, this magic we know here in our world. Oh, for a moment I thought he was gonna rob them, because he thought, okay, you've got that much gold, yeah, let's just end you now and get it. But no, I think the 6 men are just his companions, you know, that try to help him, you know, because you have to pull it across the river, probably. Yeah, the ferryman's helpers. Okay, they are his helpers. I didn't get that. It was perhaps I was just stupid, but I didn't get it. Also, that scene would have been great in the show, where, you know, Thom snaps at the dagger and then starts cutting his fingernails and everyone's laughing. Sounds great, you know? Sounds great. Okay, and he's afraid of the river. Of course he is. I mean, I would be too. Like this big river. It's really a river. It's not like just a little, you know, creek or whatever. Okay, so it's still ambiguous whether they wanted to rob them. So they might have tried, but all the others, you know, showing their weapons was probably what. Yeah, interesting. That's good. Yeah, so he says, yeah, he wouldn't be a traitor, because everyone is afraid of Trollocs and the Myrddraal, except for Dark Friends, and we know what they are. So at least you could tell a Trolloc from sight. Yeah, that's the thing with Dark Friends. It's like, reminds me a bit of Eastern Germany, when, you know, every second family member, so to speak, was an informer for the state. You know, that's so eerie, you know, not knowing whom to trust in your friends and family and stuff like that, or strangers you come across. That's so bad. Yeah, now Moraine gives them even more money. Let's see what happens now. What's gonna happen? Is she gonna end them all? Oh, and now the ferry got loose. Did Moraine do that? Probably. Also, this is so... Oh god, this is the episode where I say it's better than the show, apparently, all the time. Because, you know, this eerie mist, them going across, not knowing whether there is something, and suddenly it getting loose. It's so much more eerie, and you don't know what's going on, instead of, oh yeah, there are 1,000 Trollocs. You know what I mean? Oh, this is okay. So she casts the whirlpool and destroys the ferry, but she's not killing the people, which is, yeah. Although I like that in the show she killed the man, because he, you know, he was dead anyway, so. But the way Moraine is here, it's so much more mysterious, like, yeah, it happens, what an unfortunate coincidence. Yeah, no, Len says, Unfortunate. I hope this will pay for this unfortunate happening. And he doesn't even realize that it was Moraine. Of course it was Moraine. And it's not clear here. Like, she doesn't admit it or anything. It's just like, oh, there happens to be a whirlpool, which would make more sense when, the river is described much more wild here. So makes sense that it might happen, it's, yeah, and you really don't know. But I mean, we assume it from the situation, but it's not that clear. I like that more. I don't know. It's not spoon-fed, Yeah, and Egwene seems to be enjoying it in a way, but we don't know what she thinks still. I'm not gonna judge her until I know what she thinks. This is so fishy that we don't know it. It's like she's completely closed off from us. We only get Ren's perspective, which is really, really one-sided, and we don't know anything, actually. And this again, he thinks the moon twinkles in her eyes, and he thought that before as well, and I didn't mention because I thought, okay, but it's like, yeah, that's his projecting. I don't know, him projecting, and so I don't really get this dialogue, but I will tell you what I think it means. It follows the river as if drawn with a pen, Moraine was saying in satisfied tones. There are not 10 women in Tarvalon who could do that unaided, not to mention from the back of a galloping horse. So apparently she did all that, and that's her, she's like glad she did, and she's proud on herself. Yeah, okay. It's like she's saying, yeah, that was my fork, okay. And it also shows that she's one of the most powerful Aes Sedai already. When she says this, it's like, I don't think she's exaggerating because she can't lie. So it's true. It's true that she's top 10, apparently. About, it's just her estimate, but I think it's about, so it has to be true. She's top 10 Aes Sedai, which is nice information. Oh, and she extended the fog. Oh, that's what she meant, drawn by a pen. So she expanded the fog across, alongside the whole river to confuse them. And yeah, wow, that's so cool. Oh, and so that's why she can't cover them further, because then the murderer would know where they went. So the murderer is supposed to look across the river, along the river. That's so clever. Yeah, and she doesn't even admit that she did the whirlpool. So interesting here. Better to spit in a wolf's eye than to cross an Aes Sedai. Yeah. Why is he so antagonistic? Nah, not really antagonistic towards Egwene. And she's sighing, and it's so normal. And now she's, oh, your first sign that this is not so cool, isn't it? Why is he so cross? What's up with him? Oh, and they prepared their stop. That is so what? How did they know? That is like Eisen level planning here. And he wants to, Moraine now wants to talk to Egwene. Let's see. Okay, so Moraine did not heal them. She took away their ability to feel exhaustion, apparently. That's, it's not so good. Okay, now Lan wants just a tea after hearing the Drakkar. Okay, fine, mate. I mean, I like that he's a tea guy. I'm a coffee guy, but I was a tea guy once, so I admire tea guys. We get lore, because Moraine talks about the power, so I will drink some coffee and then read this extra carefully. Yeah, again, it's the same. The force of creation the creator used to turn the wheel, to make the wheel turn. So it's time, it's entropy, whatever. What I said last time seems to be quite what it is currently, at least. Okay, and okay, and it's yin yang, saidin and saida, Yeah, okay, we know that. And they are in harmony and against each other, which is good. I mean, that's yin yang. Okay, great metaphor. So it's like oil covering water, and to touch the pure water underneath, you have to go through the oil. The oil makes you mad, so that's why Saidin is tainted. I see. By the way, how did the Dark One manage to taint it, and why didn't he do it sooner? What made him able to do it suddenly? Why? There is so much left unanswered there. I'm curious to find that out later on. That's yeah. Okay, from their point, that's a good analogy with the river being the one power and a water wheel being the acid eye, but you still change the water current a bit by, you know, having a water wheel inside. So that might come in later. And Tom just, and Rand is just, what? No, you're not gonna become an acid eye, no. And Tom just like, no, come on, it's beyond us now, boy. Boy. Yeah, I watched Phantasm again, I think last week or so. Some clips. Great, great movie. Boy. Yeah, and she is extremely powerful. You are one of the bare handful of whom there is no need to learn. Because she already can touch it, apparently. Ah, God, I want an EGWENE chapter. Because she apparently can touch it already. You know, she can already touch it somehow. Perhaps Nynaeve told her a bit. Even though she probably didn't know it. And yeah, she has to go to Tavalon. Okay, and when a man starts to channel, it's always something very bad, like a little natural disaster that that will be reported all across the country if it happens. Yeah, it says it here, like the news of wars or earthquakes that destroyed the cities. Yeah, okay, so this is also a bit different than the show. The Red Archer held its prime duty to the prevention of another breaking. So if a woman would go out of her way, you know, and be mad and stuff like that, and I mean not mad like tainted by the by Saidar, you know, like, you know what I mean, but more mad because she's bonkers. They would have to take her powers away too. So at least that's what I get from this. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, and Moraine immediately knew that EGWENE could channel or was almost able to channel, because it's like probably like if you're in a pond and something makes ripples, you feel them. You know, it's probably like that. So that's why she says the pattern wills it. So it's probably also the power within EGWENE that makes her go and makes, because she probably feels that if she goes to Tavalon, which she knew they would go towards, that's why she's so happy, because she knows she can become an Aes Sedai. And she probably felt it already. That's my theory currently, so that's what I assume. Things do not have the power. But what does then? So she only says, and Angreal as well doesn't have power. So what are those things? Are those like little funnels that help you, or it's like, you know, let's take the water wheel analogy that Moraine gave before. So it's like there's this river that is the one power, and the water wheel is what the Aes Sedai will later be. So if you want to understand how to build a water wheel, you first perhaps take a cup, and this cup you scoop some water and you understand how you scoop it, and then you take more cups, place them on the wheel, and the wheel then turns a bit and you have a little water wheel, and then you can construct a better one. You know, it's like that perhaps, that these things are like the wood you build your cups from, or wood your wheels from, or the material you build your cup from, that, or your cup. That's what these stones are perhaps, and the Angreal. And she has to empty her mind. And Rand is being fucking prick here. I'm sorry for language. She has to fail. She has to. Why? Why? Because he doesn't want her to be special? No, I don't think because he loves her apparently a bit. Perhaps because he doesn't want to lose her, because an Aes Sedai, you know, she needs the water and he could be her water. So I don't really get it. Perhaps it's, yeah. Wow, and this is... I don't know how I feel about this now in the show. In the show, EGWENE never was this powerful and special, really. You know, she was talented, but Moraine here says you could even be the Emerald Seed, perhaps. And again, she can't lie. And, you know, it might be, but I think it's the truth. So EGWENE is very, very, very powerful. So I kind of like currently feel that Nynaeve was given some of EGWENE's part here, which I really don't like, I have to be honest here. So yeah, and now she's really letting out her happiness because EGWENE knew it. I think deep down EGWENE knew that she had to go because that was her fate, you know, because she's this fate person as well. We know that. She doesn't, but it makes a lot of sense. So yeah, she came off as selfish and naive a bit, perhaps, when she went, because it was Ren's perspective. But now that we know everything, I feel that she's like, she sees her chance in life to become what she has inside of her. And that's why she goes on, despite all what she has seen. That is so great. Wow, I love EGWENE. What a great character. And I hope Rand is not turning out to be a dick here. I'm sorry. Oh, and we have a new map. But I will not look at it. I will probably have to look later anyway. And now I will take another sip of coffee, so because the chapter's over. Great chapter again. It was like I really liked that it was calmer. It was tense in the beginning when the man came, and it was great, this little, so they introduced the little society of Tyrant's Ferry there, how they were. That was just some detail of the world, some world building, and then we had this story here, and we got to know more about stuff. So I really did like that. I like EGWENE a lot now, and we don't even see things from her perspective. We see it from Ren, and Ren is against what she's doing. So it's like she is already painted in a negative light currently, because that's what Ren thinks. But I really do like her a lot, so I can't wait for her chapters, really. And the next chapter, 13, is called Choices. And now she's, I don't know, healing them or whatever, or making them sleep, and she's touching everyone, and some are a bit frightened. EGWENE is like, yeah, I want to experience it. And Tom's like, no. And she's like, yes. And she just grabs him. Doesn't care. And now she smiled mockingly at him. Like yeah. And at him she smiles. So she smiles at Rand, and it's like, again, water metaphor. Like it's flowing out, and healing is often associated with water magic, perhaps, and light as well, but they don't have it here. Might be that's also that he like feels the power, like what it is. Interesting. So Karen and Matt are like, yeah, we're gonna go back. So, and then EGWENE says, man, you get the adventure you're always prattling about, and already you are talking about home. It's so interesting, because, yeah, they always wanted to go away, but, yeah, it seems to be that they were more rooted than EGWENE. But she has a tremor in her voice. Okay, so she's also a bit unsure. Otherwise, it would be stupid. And then Moraine don't say, yeah, you're gonna go back, because they don't know it. I mean, Moraine doesn't know, so she can't say it. Oh, and now we're time skipping a bit. The journey to Bellon took almost a week. So Lan's horse is called Mandarb, and Moraine's horse is called Aldib. Aldib sounds like Muad'Dib, by the way. Okay, so winter is still here. And this is, well, their exchange about the farm they see, the first farm they see, that Aaron says it's no different than ours, and Matt says it has to be. It's like they can't believe that things are the same, even though, so they are like in a place they don't know, but it's familiar, and they don't like it, but so they say it has to be different, and it's so probably very weird for them. Oh no, yeah, and now Lan is teaching them using weapons. That is good. Yeah, and the things that Lan is teaching Rand and the others are the same that Tam basically told him, even though Lan is more expressive, because he says, yeah, don't think, just cut down. It's like, yeah. And Tome tells stories with happy endings to keep up the mood. That's good. And he's juggling. Good old Tome. Okay, this is so weird. So EGWENE unbraided her hair. She did not do that in the show again. It's so weird that I feel like they did EGWENE dirty in the show currently. I don't know why. I've got this feeling. I don't know why. And so she unbraided it, which means why? Because she's becoming more Aes Sedai than to Riverfolk? I don't know. and she brushed it with 100 strokes. I don't know if that's meant literally, but it seems to be. So it seems like a ritual. I don't know. Oh no, they're having their first conversation. So he asked her about the braid, and he's so angry that she's gonna be an Aes Sedai because probably his subconsciousness tells him that she's gonna be away. Though he could be a water, I don't know, but yeah. And he says, "You're not an Aes Sedai yet." Yeah. And now Rand is saying, "Yeah, you can't be because they're evil, so to speak, because the story is." And Egwene says, "Grow up." Again, she's grown up. She has grown up before him. I think that's the thing here. Gwen grew up before Rand did, and that's why he can't understand her currently. Yeah, now she's angry, and Tome interrupts them. No, Len interrupts them. Okay, I'm sorry. Len interrupts them and says, "Oh God, you two, please shut up." And she just says, "Man." Yeah, and Rand seems to be not grown up still. You know, part of him grows up currently, but he's still so naive and he's still like into these stories. Okay, so they're just talking about, yeah, we want to see a real city. Okay, and now Moraine comes back. Let's see what happened here. Let's see why Moraine is back. Oh, I get it. So they want, so that's what he meant. Like he said, yeah, let's just break off. Let's just get away from them. We don't care anymore. We probably have lost them, the Trollhawks, and so we don't care. Let's just go off. And Moraine was standing there, and now she's gonna scold him. Matt, that is. And Moraine seems pissed. "Before I let the Dark One have you, I will destroy you myself." Jesus Christ, Moraine. And it's so, yeah, wow. And because she doesn't lie, that's so, wow. Now he's spying on Moraine and Egwene because he probably is worried about Egwene also. So what's she doing to Egwene? Is she casting a spell on her? So men were strongest in earth and fire. I think someone told me someday before, but that's, yes, and women are probably wind and air and water. Wind and water, yeah. Okay, so yeah, so Egwene thinks that men were at fault for, yeah, she thinks the men tried to free the Dark One. Why would she think that? I don't know. Probably because they went there to end him. And then, yeah, it's like what I already said and thought a bit. You know, it's like Gwen could have been a powerful woman in that village, but, you know, she chose to go outside because she wants to be an Aes Sedai. Yeah, and now it's he's that Nynaeve has also has abilities here. Yeah, of course. I mean, her road lies another way, I fear. Concern yourself with your own circumstances. It is not an easy road you have chosen. Yeah. So let's see when Nynaeve gets into this. I see. So Egwene thinks the Aes Sedai are pure and good, apparently, because at least Moraine says that, and again, she probably cannot lie about this, even though it's you know, it's just she just supposes it. So and she says the men were not evil that broke the world; they were insane, which is yeah, yeah, and they were not evil before that, you know. And she said also the Aes Sedai are normal people. They're just the more powerful. It's like, yeah, okay, they have like bazookas for hands, so to speak, but they're only people with intrigues, with, you know, their own worlds inside of them, you know, so to speak, their own ambitions. And they will not, and it will not change her. Becoming an Aes Sedai will not change Egwene. Interesting. Why did the Trollocs come to Eamon's field? She was afraid, yeah. Yeah, now she spotted, so to speak, spotted Rand, and he's going away. Unfortunately, I wanted to see it. Interesting. So Moraine starts acting as if Egwene is leading the Eamon's fielders. Oh, and Matt is being taught how to juggle by Tom, which, yeah, their relationship in the show was good as well. So I'm glad they have a relationship here as well. Hey, hey, Rand, Matt called. I can juggle 4. Oh, great, Matt, you're so good. Oh, they are not at Bellon. Great. So they have no choice somehow. That's what Moraine says again. So they do not have any choice whatsoever, and they have to go on. And Lan is changing clothes to not be so easily to pick out in a crowd. It's, yeah, better to do that. And they are known by other names here, so they already were there. Obviously they were, but so, yeah, because she's a spy, isn't she? Like, she's, the blue are the intelligence and negotiators, I think. Oh, so Moraine seems to be important here because the gate guard first was like, nope, you can't come in here at this time. And then he saw Moraine and says, oh, come in. Perhaps because of what she was before she was Aes Sedai. I didn't like your tricks down country, Cleveland. Why do I picture him Scottish the guard? I don't know. Oh, the White Cloaks are mentioned for the first time. Okay, and the White Cloaks came to Balon and everyone hates them there, even though they don't show it. Okay, so the White Cloaks say they want to fight the dragon reborn as well here, the false dragon. Which is, I think they might do that. I think that's in the show as well, when the guy with the beard, he said, yeah, let's go south and help them. Whoever is fighting the false dragon. And there seems to be dragon's fangs on doors, which might be the White Cloaks, I don't know, or Dark Friends as well. Okay, so they have a camp, and the gatekeeper does not really let many of the White Cloaks in because they would stir up trouble. I see. Okay. Okay, so Moraine asks about the Aes Sedai. They went south. It's probably what was in the show. Leandrin, they went south, and now they're coming. Perhaps they're coming back now. He say he's named them the people of the dragon. Sure, he has. Loghain, wasn't it? Okay, Tear is a city. I always thought it was a landmark, but okay, it's a city. The wisdom would skin them alive if they did. I suppose she would, at that, Tom said dryly. Okay, so now we get backstory about Tear. Tear. So let's see what Tear is. Okay, the stone is said to be the first fortress built after the breaking of the world. And it has never fallen. Okay, so it's the prophecy. So the stone is this fortress at the Tear. And if the prophecy says when the stone falls in any way, and it's not that clear how that will happen or what will exactly happen there, then the dragon reborn will be back. So the dragon will be reborn then. And then they say, and it's a saying probably, and I think this is a saying, even though it might not be. May the stone stand till I am dust. So let's not. I hope it doesn't happen in my lifetime. Oh, and in the stone there is the sword. So I see the sword that cannot be touched is in the stone. Also reminds me of Excalibur, because that's also sword in the stone, even though this is more, metaphorical, but. So Amador is the stronghold of the children of light. And the prophecy, yeah, it doesn't make sense at first glance. So the dragon has to wield the sword, so the stone will fall, but the stone contains the sword. Interesting. And Tom says something like, yeah, I don't know, mate. It's just a prophecy. I don't know. So let's see how this happens. I'm sure this will come out later. Come up later, and it's very important. Okay, now the innkeeper comes, so they just went to the inn. It's all right, Much. It's all right. These folk are expected guests. Take care of their horses now. Good care. I don't know why he's American, but whatever. The Stag and Lion. Okay, so that was it. I like the lore a lot in these. It's very good to see all this world building. So I now know what the Tear is, and I'm looking forward to the Tear in the show. It's probably, as it's quite ancient. I imagine like just a little mountain or a big rock where windows are inside, and it's on this cliff leading up into the sea. That's what I imagine currently. Who knows what it looks like? And so Loghain is marching at the Tear because he knows about the prophecy, perhaps. So he wants to fulfill it. I'm really looking forward to how this prophecy will be fulfilled, because yeah, it's a paradox. Like, if you have the sword, you can get into the fortress, but you can only get into the but the sword is inside the fortress. And it's such a heavy reference to Excalibur, the sword in the stone that the true heir, the true dragon can pull out to rule the world, so to speak, you know? It's, I mean, come on, it's so obvious. At least to me. I don't know. What do you think about that? Yeah, Moraine has this incognito personality, and Len as well, and Ren is against the dragon, even though he's the dragon. He doesn't know it yet, you know, but curious as well. EGWENE is, yeah, for me, these 3 chapters really made EGWENE one of my favorite characters. Because I get her a lot more now. And I think this show, yeah, I said it last time, and someone said it in the comments as well, the show did her dirty. They really did her dirty. They really did her dirty in the show. I mean, I like show EGWENE, you know, don't get me wrong, but this EGWENE is much, much more layered and pronounced and profound, you know, because it's like, he has a lot more spark here. I don't know. She's like this, she wants to be someone, and she knows she can be someone, and that's why she goes on this adventure, and all the horrors will not let her, you know, wane. Do you say it like that? You know, stop going after it. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you like this episode of me reading it. I will probably watch The Witcher next. Yeah, and I will read Dune also. So it's probably like Monday will be Witcher Day, and Tuesday will be Dune Day, and on Wednesday I will put out the video of C, where they talk about, I don't know, something about depression, something about psychology, whatever. Anyway, if you like this, consider liking, subscribing, and I hope you have a very great day ahead of you or behind you, and take care of yourself. Bye.